outspending their income, borrowing to maintain their lifestyle, and living off their debts for shortage in their income. Basically, their finances control them. Only 5% of the country live in a cash cycle where they're debt-free, paying things cash, not borrowing, and where they control their finances. And if you look at this, the 5% in the country runs the 95%. Our whole goal is to take our clients and teach them how to set up a plan and get out of the debt cycle into the cash cycle so they feel in control of their finances. When I sit down with clients, their number one comment is, I for once feel in control of my finances instead of it controlling me. Because look, of all the threats to your financial security, none is more dangerous than what? Debt. Everybody suffers from it. I hear people say, I'm debt free. Do you have a house payment? Well, yeah. I said, well, that's debt. So the solution is very simple. We start with the 3 fundamental areas to really teach you, and everybody's different financially, but all the 3 areas are the same. First, step 1, we teach you how to invest. What does that mean? Pay yourself first, the 3 fundamental accounts. At the same time, step 2 is teaching you how to eliminate debt. Set up a debt elimination program. And then third is protecting your income and teaching you how to buy the proper insurance, but at one point eliminate the need for it because you're self-insured because you have cash. And those are the 3 areas. So let's break them down. The first area is pay yourself first. It's called the 3 fundamental accounts. We're going to replace the bad habit with a good one so it doesn't come back again. Well, the pay yourself first mindset, first account we're going to teach you is an emergency account. We're going to change that. Emergency account. And what is that for? Usually your goal is 3 months income is what you want to build it to. Not overnight, but you want to build it to that. And it's used for purchases, anything you're going to withdraw for 0 to 2 years. Like in 6 months, you're going to change something in the backyard. That's where it comes from. You're taking a big trip in a year, it comes from there. Emergencies, vacations, anything 0 to 2 years. The second type of account is a short-term account. Goal is to build it up to 6 months. Like I said, not overnight, but baby steps. But we're going to build it up because look, if any kind of withdrawals, you have 3 to 5 years. For example, loss of job, disability. Could that happen? Absolutely. But it's any purchases also 3 to 5 years, like car, down payment on a house. If you had 20% to put down on a house, you'd have a little bit more control, wouldn't you? Well, if your car, here's a good example of a car. Let's say you're in the market to buy a new car. $30,000 is your budget. You can buy a pretty decent car for $30,000. Now I'm using national averages. I know they have sometimes interest deals and everything. I'm just using national averages. They want you to write a check for it or finance it. Am I correct? Okay. Well, there's a debt habit. And what they want is at least 10% down, and this is national average, roughly 8% for 5 years. It's $500 a month. Now I come to you and say, look, for 1 5-year term, let's change our habit. Let's use your emergency account to patch up the old car, and don't buy the car yet, the new car. Let's take this money and put it into your short-term account. You come back 5 years later, and you have $40,800. What can you do now? And you let them talk. And buy it cash, buy a better car. Whatever it is, look, you could pull $30,000 cash and buy a new car. You also have another option. When you buy a new car and drive it off the lot, what's the first thing that happens? It depreciates at least 25%, right? Well, because you have $30,000 cash, why not buy a better car a year, a month or 2 months old, still new, still under warranty, right? Very low miles. You like new car smell, you go to Pep Boys for 69 cents. Spray it all day. But the most important thing is you have $10,800 left, and now you've developed a habit of paying $500 a month to who? Yourself. And you let them answer this as you're going through these questions. Don't just run through the presentation. So yourself. One more 5-year term with this $10,800, that's $50,400. Do you ever have to finance a car again? Never. This is having a plan and where you're in control of your finances instead of it controlling you. Can you see the importance of the three fundamental accounts? Because the last type of account is a wealth building account, and that's any kind of retirement account that's available to you. If you have a 401k, we'll help you, guide you on how to invest it properly. Because a lot of people don't know how to invest that properly. If you have old 401ks, we'll teach you how to properly invest it and get it working for you. You can't ignore it. So those are the three fundamental accounts. Once we teach you this and start working on instilling that, we go also to step 2, which is setting up a debt elimination program, eliminating debt. Because now you've replaced the bad habit with pay yourself first. Now, if you look in this situation, we did that with this client. Started off with 3 fundamental accounts, and here's their situation. They had some credit cards, a car loan, mortgage. You can see the total amount of balances, payments, totally $27.20 a month. If they just continue to pay this, that's 23 years it's going to take for them to pay it off. $179,000 interest paid out. Interest. So now that we got them on the cash cycle habit, we started putting a plan together to stack their debts. Well, the computer figures it out, but once we paid off one debt, we applied it towards the next, then towards the next. You notice there wasn't a penny extra. But at the end of this period of time, by stacking their debts, in 10 years, they'll have their debts paid off at age 45. 13 years sooner, has their house, car, and credit cards all paid off and saved $86,000 interest. Is that a little difference or a big difference? Big difference. And now, if you look at it, most people continue debt all the way to retirement. So if we just took that amount that they just paid off, $27.20, and put it into their 401ks now, by age 67, at a conservative 9%, they'd have $2.1 million by retirement. We just made them a millionaire debt-free with a plan. That's what we do. Everybody's different, but you can see the ultimate result of what we're trying to teach, right? Because the last couple of areas, it's life insurance, mainly to protect your income, because a lot of people buy it for different reasons, but the only reason is this: what's the most valuable asset you have? And you let them go, kids, house, whatever, it's your income. And years ago, the industry started out with life insurance to replace income. But it's gone and changed a lot because it's been a commission-driven environment, and the consumer's not getting the best value. 7 out of 10 policies sold out there is what they call cash value. And the marketing ploy is you pay these high premiums, but you'll get some premiums back, or you can borrow your money. You've ever heard that before? Okay? But that's not the best value for your money. Let me show you. This is an actual client, $150,000 each. They're paying $298 a month. And told them they can get some of their premiums back, they can borrow some money, but not the best value. Let me show you what I mean. We take the Costco approach to insurance and investments, cut out the middleman, and get a better value for your money. Let me show you. It's called buy term, invest the difference. With the same amount of money, $298, look at what you can do by cutting out the middleman and commissions. John and Mary can now have $300,000 each. Is that a better coverage instead of $150? For $123 a month, locked in for 30 years. Now we take that $175 savings. Do you see that? We put that into a Roth IRA by age 70. That's over $500,000 cash, which is way more than insurance in the other program. At this point, they don't need insurance. They're dependent on what? The assets they built. When you look at this both programs, if you were shown both of these programs, would you pick A or B? But if they don't show you B, you pick A. And that's the difference of what we bring to the table, is showing you a better value the right way. And then the last thing, and most important area when it comes to the insurance part, is we teach you what wealthy people do. It's called theory of decreasing responsibility. When you're young, you have children, high debt, house mortgage, loss of income would be devastating, so get the coverage you need, lock it in, so you're in control of the pricing, but then invest your money and pay down your debts. As your assets grow, by retirement, your children are grown, low debt, mortgages paid, you have no debt at this point. When you have $500,000, $1 million cash, what do you need insurance for? You're self-insured. Insurance companies don't teach that. They teach you to do what? And let them answer. Keep buying insurance, right? Think about this. What insurance company do you know that teaches people how to eliminate the need for life insurance by retirement? Nobody. And see, because we do a full plan, we're not focused on just insurance. It's teaching you how to balance it the right way and get the best value. And you can see some of the breakdowns of third party like Dave Ramsey and some of the other ones, Wall Street Journal. The only way to buy insurance is term, wholesale, cut out the middleman, and invest it yourself. And the last thing is we teach you how to take inventory control of your money. Because have you ever said this before? Make all this money, where's my money going? This tool that comes out with your blueprint shows you so you could just take an inventory. Because it's kind of like a bucket. If there's a bucket and there's a hole in it, you want to know where that hole is so you can stop the bleeding. Your finances work the same way. So we teach you how to take inventory, and I didn't say cut back, but at least you know if you're going to overspend in a certain area, you know exactly what it is. But if something happens at work or income gets cut back, you know where to cut it down. That's awareness and control of your finances. So at this point, can you see the value of setting up a financial roadmap? This is what we do. Great. Basically what I'm going to need is a generic information, and like I said, it's very confidential. I'll give you a list. Let me pull this out and go through your memory jogger and start going through that. But I would, at this point when they're interested, is sit down and say, okay, what's the top 5 financial goals that you want to see accomplished or solved with the plan? What's been bothering? What's important to you? And then go through the goals first, and then go back to the memory jogger and say, here's what we're going to need to put your plan together.